Picture this. Your check engine light comes on. You take it to the mechanic. They tell you it's going to be $850 to fix. You don't have $850, so you ignore it. You keep driving. You tell yourself it's probably fine. 3 weeks later, your car breaks down completely on the highway. Now the repair is $2,400. You still don't have the money, so you put it on a credit card at 24% interest. But here's what makes this gut-wrenching. If you had just $7,500 in the bank, this entire nightmare never happens. The $850 repair gets paid immediately. Problem solved. Life continues. But without that $7,500, you just paid 3 times more for the exact same problem. Here's what nobody tells you about money. There's a specific dollar amount that separates 2 completely different financial realities. Below this number, you pay more for everything. Above it, life gets exponentially easier. That number is $7,500. You're not bad with money. You're not irresponsible. You're not lazy. You're trapped below a mathematical threshold that's designed to keep you broke. And once you understand why this specific number changes everything, you'll never look at your bank account the same way again. My name is Alex, and this is Milestone Money. If you're tired of working hard and staying broke, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to show you the exact mathematical breaking points that separate struggle from momentum. Here's what every financial guru tells you. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses. Build an emergency fund. Pay yourself first. That advice is useless. Know why? Because it doesn't tell you where the actual breaking point is. It doesn't explain the specific dollar amount where the system stops punishing you for being poor. I call this the breaking point. It's the exact threshold where you stop paying the broke tax and start building actual wealth. Below $7,500, you're caught in a mathematical trap where being poor makes you poorer. Above $7,500, money starts working with you instead of against you. But here's what makes me angry. The entire financial system profits from keeping you below this threshold. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how they do it, why $7,500 is the magic number, and how to break through when everything is designed to hold you back. Let me show you the math nobody wants you to see. Take 2 people, same job, same salary, $45,000 a year. Person A has $2,000 in savings. Person B has $7,500 in savings. Watch what happens over 1 year. Person A's car needs new tires. $600. They don't have $600 in cash. So they finance it through the tire shop at 29% interest over 12 months. Total paid, $687. Person B pays cash, $600. Done. Person A just paid $8,700 more for the exact same tires. 3 months later, person A gets hit with a $1,900 medical bill. They set up a payment plan, $150 a month plus a $50 administrative fee. Total paid, down $250. Person B pays the bill in full and negotiates a 15% cash discount. Total paid, $120. Person A paid $230 more for the exact same medical care. 6 months in, person A's bank account drops to $18. 1 transaction hits, overdraft fee, $35. Then 2 more transactions processed before their paycheck hits. 2 more overdraft fees, $105 in fees in 1 day. Person B never pays a single overdraft fee because that $7,500 buffer never lets them drop below 0. But it gets worse. Person A needs to buy a winter coat. They have $40 right now, so they buy a cheap coat from a discount store for $40. It lasts 1 winter. Person B buys a quality coat on sale for $180. It lasts 8 years. Cost per year. Person A pays $40. Person B pays $20.50. This is the boots theory of economics. A poor person buys cheap boots for $40 that last 1 season. A rich person buys quality boots for $120 that last 10 years. The poor person spends $400 over 10 years. The rich person spends $120. The system punishes you for not having money by making everything more expensive. Here's a study from Princeton University that'll make your blood boil. They found that low-income families pay up to $40,000 more over their lifetime for the same basic goods and services as middle-class families. $40,000 for the same stuff. Why? Because they can't buy in bulk. They can't pay cash for discounts. They can't avoid fees and interest. Let me show you 3 more examples of the broke tax. Example 1, banking. Person A maintains an average balance below $1,500. Monthly maintenance fee, $12. Person B maintains $7,500, no fee. Annual difference, $144. Plus, person A pays an average of $180 per year in overdraft fees. Person B pays 0. Total annual cost just for banking, $324 for person A, $0 for person B. Example 2, purchasing power. Person A buys toilet paper at the corner store. 4 rolls for $6. That's $1.50 per roll. Person B drives to Costco once a month with their membership. 30 rolls for $24. That's 80 cents per roll. Same toilet paper. Person A pays nearly double per roll because they can't afford to buy in bulk. Annual difference on just household basics, about $890. Example 3, opportunity cost. Person A sees a great deal on a certification course that would boost their career, $299, but only available this week. They don't have $299 in their account. They miss it. Person B signs up immediately. 6 months later, that certification leads to a promotion worth $7,000 more per year. Person A stays stuck in the same position. The opportunity cost isn't just the $299, it's the $7,000 annual raise they missed. Over 5 years, $35,000. Now let me add this up. Extra cost on emergency repairs because of delayed maintenance, $100 per year on average. Interest and fees on necessary purchases, $780 per year. Banking fees, $324 per year. Purchasing power penalty, $890 per year. Missed opportunities, impossible to calculate, but easily $10,000 plus over 5 years. Conservative estimate, you're paying $394 per year just for being below the $7,500 threshold. That's $260 per month. You're paying over $250 every single month just for the crime of not having enough money in the bank. But the money is only part of the equation. Here's what actually happens to your life when you cross this threshold. Let's talk about what life looks like without that $7,500. Scenario 1, your job. Your boss is a nightmare, micromanages everything, takes credit for your work, makes passive-aggressive comments in meetings. You hate going to work. Your stomach tightens every Sunday night, but you can't quit. You can't even push back. Why? Because you need that next paycheck. You're 2 weeks away from not making rent. So you smile, you nod, you take it, you're trapped. Scenario 2, daily decisions. You're at the grocery store. You need food for the week, but your bank account has $147 until Friday. It's Monday, so you're doing mental math with every single item. Can I afford the fresh vegetables, or should I get canned? Do I really need protein this week? Maybe I can make rice stretch further. You're not shopping for nutrition, you're shopping for survival. Every decision is stressful. Every purchase creates anxiety. You leave the store exhausted, not from shopping. From the constant mental load of scarcity. Now let's look at life with that $7,500. Same two scenarios, completely different reality. Scenario 1, your job. Your boss makes the same passive-aggressive comment in a meeting. But this time, you have what I call walking away money. You don't need this job, you need a job. And you have 3 months of expenses in the bank to find the right one. So you speak up, you set a boundary, you defend your work, and if they fire you, you'll be fine. You have a runway. This isn't about quitting, it's about power. When you have $7,500, you're no longer negotiating from desperation, you're negotiating from strength. Your boss feels it. You feel it. Everything changes. Scenario 2, daily decisions. You're at the same grocery store. You still have $147 in your checking account, but you have $7,500 in savings. You're not worried. That $147 is just your spending money until Friday. The $7,500 is your safety net. So you buy the fresh vegetables, you get quality protein, you don't think twice. No mental math, no anxiety, no stress. You leave the store feeling normal, like shopping should feel. Here's what the research shows. A study from Harvard found that financial stress reduces cognitive function by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. 13 IQ points. Financial scarcity literally makes you dumber. Not because you are dumb, because your brain is using all its processing power to manage the crisis. When you cross the $7,500 threshold, you get those 13 IQ points back. You make better decisions. You see opportunities you missed before. You have mental space to actually think. Another study from the University of California found that people with emergency savings have 36% lower cortisol levels. Cortisol is your stress hormone. High cortisol destroys sleep, kills focus, and makes you sick. That $7,500 doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your brain chemistry. You sleep better. You think clearer. You feel calmer. This is what I call the breaking point. Below it, you're in constant survival mode. Every decision is a crisis. Every unexpected expense is a catastrophe. Above it, you're in building mode. Problems become manageable. Opportunities become possible. But the system doesn't want you to get here. Here's what makes me genuinely angry about this. The financial system profits from keeping you below $7,500. Let me show you exactly how. Banks first. The big banks in America collected $12.4 billion in overdraft fees last year. Billion, with a B. Who pays those fees? Not people with $7,500 in the bank. They never overdraft. It's people living paycheck to paycheck. People with $200 in checking. People one unexpected expense away from going negative. Banks make billions by charging $35 fees to people who don't have $35. Think about that. The penalty for being broke is a fee that makes you more broke. Credit card companies next. They use something called risk-based pricing. Sounds fancy. Here's what it actually means. If you don't have savings, you're considered high risk. High risk means higher interest rates. The person with $7,500 in the bank gets a credit card at 16% APR. The person with $500 gets one at 28% APR. Same card, same bank. The poor person pays nearly double in interest. The system charges you more for the privilege of borrowing money. Because you need to borrow money, here's one more example that'll make your blood boil. Landlords. If you have $7,500 in the bank, you can put down first month, last month, and a security deposit on a good apartment. You have options, you can negotiate. If you don't have that money, you're stuck renting the cheapest place you can find week to week. Those weekly rentals cost 40% more per month than standard leases. You're paying a 40% poverty tax just for not having enough money to sign a normal lease. This is a mathematical moat designed to keep you trapped. You can't save money because everything costs more. Everything costs more because you can't save money. This isn't accidental. This is by design. The system profits from your struggle. Banks need your overdraft fees. Credit card companies need your high interest payments. Landlords need your desperation. Your financial stress is their business model. So how do you break through when the entire system is designed to keep you stuck? Most financial gurus will tell you to save 10% of your income every month. Build slowly, be patient. That's wrong. You can't build slowly when the system is actively draining you. You need to hit $7,500 as fast as humanly possible. This is a sprint, not a marathon. Here's the condensed 3-phase roadmap. Phase 1, emergency stop the bleeding first 60 days. Target, $1,500 in the bank. Why $1,500? Because that's enough to stop one major emergency from destroying everything. 2 actions. Action 1, sell something, anything. Facebook Marketplace, old electronics, furniture you don't need, clothes, tools. Target, $400 in the next 2 weeks. Action 2, cut one major expense temporarily, not forever, for 60 days. Cancel streaming services. Stop eating out completely. Put your gym membership on hold. Target, save $300 per month for 2 months. That's $600. Add the $400 from selling stuff. That's $1,000 in 60 days. Then take your next 2 paychecks. Every dollar above your absolute bare minimum survival goes into that account. This is a sprint. You're in crisis mode. Treat it like one. By day 60, you should have $1,500. Maybe more. This is a stopgap, not the goal. But it stops the bleeding. Phase 2, eliminate the penalties. Next 4 months, now you have $1,500. That prevents one disaster, but you're still paying the broke tax on everything else. Identify your biggest broke tax category. For most people, it's one of these 3 things: banking fees and overdrafts, credit card interest, or purchasing power penalties from buying small quantities. Pick one, the biggest one, then redirect that money. If you're paying $40 per month in overdraft fees, that $40 now goes to savings the moment you get paid. If you're paying $80 per month in credit card interest, you pay extra on that card while building your emergency fund slower. Expected monthly savings, between $200 and $400 depending on your situation. Over 4 months, that's $800 to $1,600. Add that to your $1,500. You're now at $2,300 to $3,100. Phase 3, hit the milestone. Final 6 months. You're in the home stretch. You need $7,500 total. You have around $2,500 to $3,000. That means you need to save $4,500 to $5,000 over the next 6 months. That's $750 to $835 per month. This sounds impossible. But here's the key. You've already eliminated your biggest broke tax. That freed up $200 to $400. Now you're not paying penalties on emergencies because you have that $2,500 cushion. That's another $100 to $200 per month you're not losing to fees and interest. So you need to find another $350 to $500 per month from your actual income. This is where sacrifice comes in. I won't lie to you. This might mean a temporary side hustle, or cutting another major expense, or both. But here's what makes this possible. Every month, you're closer. And every month, you're paying less in broke taxes because you're closer to the threshold. By month 8, you'll start to feel the shift. Problems that used to cause panic barely register. Unexpected expenses are annoying, not catastrophic. And around month 10 or 11, you'll hit it. $7,500. Here's what happens next. This skill compounds. The same intensity that got you to $7,500 gets you to $15,000 in half the time. Why? Because you're not fighting the broke tax anymore. Every dollar you save actually stays saved. $15,000 becomes $30,000. $30,000 becomes $50,000. The first $7,500 is the hardest thing you'll ever do financially. Everything after that is exponentially easier. And when you get there, your entire life changes. This isn't easy. It requires sacrifice. You're going to miss things. You're going to say no to friends. You're going to feel behind while everyone else seems to be living normally. But here's what I need you to understand. You won't remember the 11 months you didn't eat out. But you will remember the first time you had a car emergency and didn't panic. You won't remember the side hustle you worked on weekends. But you will remember the day you spoke up to your boss because you finally had walking away money. You're no longer someone who's bad with money. You're now someone who understands the system and refuses to be exploited by it. You're no longer someone who's trapped by circumstances. You're now someone who's building a mathematical moat around your life instead of struggling inside one. You're no longer someone who hopes things get better. You're now someone who's executing a plan to make things better. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because I'm breaking down the exact dollar amounts where everything changes in your financial life. And send this to one person. That friend who's working hard but staying broke. That family member who thinks they're bad with money. That coworker who's trapped below the breaking point. This video could change their entire trajectory. Drop a comment if you're committing to hit $7,500. Tell me your timeline. The accountability matters. Next video, I'm breaking down why your second 10K becomes 4x faster than your first. That's the number where you stop being a worker and start being an investor. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.